So, as is always the case when we come to listen to the teachings of the Buddha, it's very important to establish pure-hearted motivation. Like, the idea is that it's not just for you alone, but whatever changes or values you find in the teaching applied to your own mind then changes you. And changing you, your friend has a better friend. Changing you, your children have a better parent. Changing each and every one of us makes a tremendous impact in who's connected to you. Even the dog is going to benefit by whatever qualities you aspire to, and even if you can't live up to them perfectly, you aspire to them and you move towards them, then you're going to be a different person in this world. Like one lamp in a dark room brings a lot of light. Even if it's a tiny lamp, it brings a lot of light to the room. Imagine then how much greater if the light is bigger, if the light is shining brightly. It isn't as much that it has to help us. It's nice that it will help you, but it's really that it helps the world. It helps your family. It helps your friends, your neighbors. Even it helps the guy in traffic when you're not an irritated person he meets on the road. That's a difference for him. It's a difference for everyone, at the grocery store, in the bank. At first, we might not think that it makes such a difference because we want big things to happen. We want world peace. Rinpoche, when people would say to him that they just want peace, he would kind of go, like his stomach hurt. Because there's no way to produce that without changing yourself. That's not possible. And so in order to understand why Rinpoche would like demonstrate this tummy ache over the idea of personal peace and world peace, it requires a little bit of explanation. So to understand why Rinpoche would demonstrate this kind of challenging question, when of course all of us want personal peace and world peace. We all would like to be free of challenge and chaos and all the kinds of things that disturb us. I mean, right on down to the mosquito that's such an irritating factor in our lives. But what we learn from the Buddhas and the Bodhisattvas and the great masters is that the outside world is a reflection of your own mind. Now, that's a very big statement, but you can see that in this world. You can see that. You can see that there are people who approach their life with joy and fulfillment and dignity and kindness and love. And though there are problems that they face in life, problems don't just go away. They have problems, but they have a different sensation over the challenges of life. They're not broken and ruined and miserable by the challenges of life, because they have a quality of inner resilience and beauty that they bring to the challenges of life. And this is not even people who know the Dharma or have the Dharma. These are just people with good, with sort of personality traits that are already ripe in them, that they're good people, that they're kind people, that they're loving people. It doesn't mean that they don't have any problems, but they have something else they bring to the moment. And you and I sitting next to them, you know, in a long line of miserable, horrible, long line, our world gets a little better around them. If there's someone who's delightful and happy and jubilant in the midst of that line with you, you get something from them. We know that. They're a pleasure to be around. We look forward to being around them. We're happy that we got stuck in the line by them, versus stuck in a line by a crab bucket. Crab bucket. Crabby bucket of crab bucket is like the name I used to use for Joey when he woke up in a bad mood, that he was just a dirty little bucket full of crabs. Okay, a crab bucket in the line. Like you're already not happy in the line and you're there surrounded by crab buckets. You know, it's harder. So the Buddhas and the Bodhisattvas and the great masters are going a big step further than just good personality or charming qualities or someone who has nice temperament. They realize that there's something hiding our qualities. It's like we have a mask on, and we've had the mask on so long we don't realize that this mask we wear isn't really who we are. And we've become accustomed to the mask. Now we're afraid to take the mask off. I mean, if it comes off at all, it's really pretty gludado now that we are so accustomed to this mask. We've just identified, wrongly identified, with a superficiality. And so the Buddhas and the Bodhisattvas are saying, there's a problem that we can change. We can remove the mask, and the light of your own qualities will radiate, will show for you and also for those connected to you. So in Buddhist terms, we call this purifying karma. This mask we have is not really true. It's superficial. Aha. We think it's true. Who I am, what I feel, what I think, it's really true. Oh, I don't like you because you don't agree with me. Oh, you are in the other camp of people. You're not my people. And we have all kinds of problems that occur because we don't understand who we are because of the mask on our own mind. And so what do? We try to change everybody else. We try to make everybody else be peaceful in the world, play nice on the school ground children. And we demand of the world to produce peace when we are part of the problem. And most people, like, I don't know, I don't want to sound judgmental, but most people are just really trying their best to change everybody else. They somehow think they're innocent. And we're not free of karma. We have these habits of ordinary mind, and we have these projections of like and dislike and good and bad and want and not want and success and failure, blah, blah, blah. Goes on and on and on. Because we have to purify our own mind. Our own mind has a problem. Trying to change everybody else isn't going to work. It's like if you put blue ink in your eyes. Wherever you look, the world becomes blue. That's not the fact that the world is blue. It's that you have ink in your eyes. This is the problem of unenlightened beings. We don't understand the way that our mind is working. Our mind is working within a division. A subjective, objective division. That I observe what is not me. And that isn't true. Because what you observe came from your mind. Now, that's a big hurdle for most people to understand, that what you see is what your mind gives you, not what's really there. What you see, your eyes, your ears, your reflections about good and bad, all come from you. And then you paint the world, good and bad, like and dislike. And we don't understand that. We're not only subjective about the world, we're very subjective about ourselves. Your personal opinion isn't accurate. It's not true. Oh, I'm lazy. Oh, I'm smart. Oh, I'm this or that, or any of those kind of things. Like when you're standing in front of the mirror, you're not being honest because we don't know how. We don't know who we are. So every level of personal discovery is giving us another mask, another mask, another mask, another mask. Like you had a mask when you were 14, you had a mask when you were 21, you had a mask when you were 28, 29, 30, which nobody wanted to really pay attention to. Then you have the old lady mask like me. But your true nature is maskless. And from masks, we can't even relate to that. This is why what the Buddha is presenting to us as a solution is a solution to a problem that is just a misunderstanding. The misunderstanding of who we are. Because we basically assume that I am. I am. And the Buddha is saying, no, that's a mask. Well, okay, I am good and I am bad. Okay, I'm going to change from bad to good and I'm going to be better. But it's still iming. And as long as we are iming, I'm using it as a verb. Verb, you know verb. As long as I'm iming, I'm not being authentic. Because the true nature of your mind doesn't have concepts. Concepts are something that just kind of come and go. And we use examples in the teachings of like the ocean has waves. But what is a wave? Is there a wave? Where is the wave? It's really all ocean. And yet, what we identify with is something that's not actually authentic. It's a movement, it's an event, it has a duration, it ends, it's not lasting, it doesn't make a mark anywhere. There's nothing keepable about it. And yet we have all the insecurity of the wave and the hope and the fear of the wave and the expectation of a wave. Where am I going? What am I doing? Am I a big enough wave? Am I too small a wave? Who's going to love me, poor little wave? All the while, it is never other than the ocean. And so this is why I think, there's something about understanding that whether it's a good wave or a bad wave, it's not the point. I mean, yes, a good wave is sort of nice, and a bad wave is, horribly, radically violent and difficult. But the ocean didn't change. So fixing waves is not going to fix anything. But being ocean, waves are fine. Waves come and go. Waves are not a problem. For wave alone, as if not the ocean, like something that it is itself, it's doomed. That wave is doomed. Because it's impermanent. So the point of the path then taught by the Buddha is that you have to change your own mind. You have to understand the real problem isn't everybody else. It's the mind. Now that doesn't mean just because you change your mind, everything is going to be okay, because everybody has a mind. This is what's happening to all of them. They think they're seeing the world. That crab bucket in line beside you thinks they're seeing this terrible world. And next to you, that lovely lady with a sweet disposition thinks she's seeing the real world. And neither one of them are accurate, because what they're experiencing is subjective. It's not objectively true. Objectively true is a lie. It's a misunderstanding. And yet we believe it. Like someone believing a dream. It may be happening, but it's not true. It's certainly not objectively true. It's your dream. So this is where the Buddha's teachings come from. And when, somebody says to Rinpoche, I want world peace, and thinking that's noble, it is noble, but it's ill-informed. And so, poor Rinpoche, another person to explain all this to. And it's worse when you want personal peace. You just want everybody to leave you alone so you could be happy. If I just didn't have this problem, my neighbor's dog barking all the time, if I didn't have this problem, I could be happy. But it's not true, because it isn't the neighbor's dog. That's the problem. It's our mind. And if you have a problem with your mind, no matter where you go, the problem is with you. People used to come and ask Rinpoche, should I live in New York or should I live in Los Angeles? And Rinpoche would say, well, either way, wherever you go, you take your mind with you, don't you? So, better here or there is better if you tame and train your own mind. Because ultimately, there is a great result. When you remove the karma blocking the light, you are free. And you are all those things that you wish you could be. You already have. But they're just hidden from us. Not by somebody else. They're hidden from us by our own mind, our mask. It's so funny because in a modernino kind of way, we're just trying to get everybody to wear a better mask. You know, go get some therapy so you can be okay with yourself. You know, get a divorce, change your life. But if you don't change your mind, the mask is still with you. The problems are still with you. So it's not that it isn't doable to eliminate suffering. It is doable, but just not the way that we think. So it's very interesting because when we listen to teachings like this, I mean, I don't know about you, but when I started to listen to teachings like this, I was very excited by the teachings. I thought that that was really awesome and amazing, and really, I'd never heard such things before. My sister recently, she said about something that it tickled her mind. And I realized that's what the Dharma did to me. I felt like my mind was being tickled, and it was so extraordinarily interesting. But even though you might feel that way, that you could listen and learn so much, and it's fascinating, and it's like, what interesting things to think about and all that, you're still breathing. You're still blinking. You're still moving from the morning to the night. You're still on your way to die. That's not stopping. We are on a track from the moment that we're born until the moment that we die. We have only so much time in this world. That is the fact that we are impermanent. I don't think people realize that our breaths are numbered. That's what Rinpoche said. The moment that we're born, our breaths are numbered. And you're using them. We're not the only thing impermanent. The world itself is impermanent. We're all upset because of El Nino. We are heartbroken for Europe and Spain and France and people losing their homes. At least, hopefully not their lives, but their lives and their homes and their world are impermanent. Somehow we just sort of skip that part. We just pretend that's not true. But if you pretend long enough, death will arrive. And that's why the teachings are meant just to stimulate and tickle your mind. They're not meant for that. They're meant to make you pay attention, notice, wake up. Because yes, what is happening to you, not being able to get what you want, and not being able to prevent what you don't want, and how successful or what a fail you are at being happy. Like, I want to be happy. Everything you do, every decision you make is being driven by the same urges. why you argue with someone. Because you want something. You think you're right. You think they're wrong. You think you're the only one who knows. But every moment you're breathing and your eyes are blinking and your life is passing. What are you spending in your argument? What are you losing in your big success? You finally arrived. Where have you arrived that's not impermanent? This is the point, is that, yes, we need to understand what is happening. But more than that, you got to get to the business. You got to get to the business of changing your own mind. And I'm telling you, it's not the priority. We want to change everything else. We want to make everything else happen. And to the tiniest minutia of trying to make everything else happen. But we're not paying attention to the real story here. You are breathing. You are blinking. You don't get to stay here. This doesn't remain. At best, it's a parking spot. The duration of this life. At best. And even then, we don't even stay in the same place with our parking spot. We're just moving around the parking. My husband, my ex-husband, who is now deceased, my previous husband, he used to call me the queen of metaphors, so I'm warning you. I will switch metaphors 1,000 times in the middle of an explanation. So now we're in a parking lot. We're not really arrived anywhere. We're just in the parking lot. And not only that, we're just trying to get the best parking spot. And we think we won because we got the best parking spot? And then we're mad at the guy who parked too close to the line? These people! We have to change our own mind. This is the point of the Buddhist teaching. It's not just that you understand, but of course, if you don't understand, you won't change your own mind. So you're supposed to be able to use your intelligence to facilitate changes in you. And the question is, are you? And you have to be honest. Are you just trying to change everybody else? Are you just trying to be happy with your parking spot in this, I don't know, never really arriving place? So you're fortunate, you here listening, are fortunate because you can follow what's being said to you. But just understanding the ideas is still captivity in nothing better than a parking spot, because it's not keepable. That is the real sad truth. This is not keepable. Don't get comfortable. Comfort is robbing you of something. You have to cut back and open up to show what's authentic there. In that way, it is possible to find fulfillment and well-being and realization. But not just by being tickled by the teachings. And realize your opportunity is brief. I'm old now. I started this when I was 21 years old, 24. 21, I started asking questions. 24, I found someone to give me answers. But that's not enough. You have to become a practitioner. You have to deal with your mind, not everybody else's mind. You have to deal with your mind. That's what the spiritual path is. And understanding your necessity to tame and train your own mind and the challenges of how incapable you are of adhering to being harmless and helpful, then you understand what's happening to other people. Why you wouldn't have compassion for them. Que pena, poor people, just circulating a parking lot at best. Why you wouldn't have compassion? Imagine if you figure out the way out of the parking lot, you could help them. But you're not helping them by circulating around in the parking lot, having your picnic in your parking stall. You're not helping them doing that. So this is why the Buddha would say, do no non-virtue whatsoever, like don't hurt anybody. Like that's advice. Don't hurt anybody. With your body, with your speech, with your mind. Don't do it. You might want to, but don't do it. It's just not worth it because the story gets so bad. And instead, do kindness, do virtue, be helpful. Don't be a crab bucket in line. Be kind and loving in line. That will help you. It will help others that are close to you. But most of all, the Buddha is telling us, most of all, you've got to do the work of changing your own mind. And you can't put that off on somebody else. That's not somebody else's job to do your mind. The only person who can do your mind is you. And the only person who is captive, who is the captor of your mind, is you. This is where a person turns from a kind of a sympathizer to a practitioner. So there's no lack of raw material to work with your own mind. We are full of challenges. There's lots that is covering the light of our true awareness, our intrinsic wisdom. There's so much to be done with your own mind. We have 4 big problems. The first category of great big problem are the poisons of our own mind. That we have ignorance, because we don't understand, we have desire. Because we don't understand, we get angry at what we cannot have. And what we don't understand is that all of these poisons of the mind can be purified, can be removed, can be transformed. There are different ways to go about doing that. We have so many problems of mind. For example, we just think we know. Oh, I know. I mean, who questions that? Well, okay, I don't know. Well, you're still knowing that you don't know, right? So you're still doing, I know. That's called pride. That's superiority. Superiority always has inferiority. I know. And we can't make it work. We think everybody else makes it work. So we compare. We compare ignorance. And we compare and we think, well, I'm as good as, no, I'm not as good as, I'm this and I'm that. Comparing a poison that's already in place and judging that. These are called the poisons of mind. And when you multiply them out, there's like more than 84,000 poisons of the mind that are already circulating in our system of personal mind. Rinpoche used to refer to me. He told me, you are a giant bag of lishu. He told me, like not a little one, like a few poisons, not a little bag, giant. The biggest ones you can find in the grocery store. That's me. For sure, the bag he was referring to was as big as my body.
Então, certo.
He literally showed me the bag. Not like I could just imagine this as a metaphor. He showed me this kind of like giant trash bag, really big enough for a dead body. We have these poisons already in place. You can't do, let's say, how would I say that? You can try to do a, like, to spin your story, to make it a little better. Like, you could spin it that my mother didn't love me. You could spin it that, oh, my brother, she loved my brother more than me. You could try to spin it, oh, I didn't get the opportunities that other people got. Oh, I'm not tall enough. Now I'm losing my hair. You can spin it. You can try and make a good reason and a rationalization about why your life is the way that it is. Oh, if only I had money. Oh, if only I was this or that. Poor me. Lots of spinning. It's amazing what kind of story we try to sell ourselves. And I'm trying. I'm trying so hard. But the reason why your life is not enlightenment is because of the poisons of your own mind. The reason why your life is not enlightenment is because you have karma. Karma is created by using the poisons of the mind, which we use all day long, all the time. Because we are swimming in ignorance, attachment, aversion, pride, jealousy. We are swimming in those things all the time. So you're creating karma all the time. Every thought, every word, every action. Even you want it to all go your way. You want it to all work out. You think that you could improve this story and make it somehow better. Yet what you're doing is creating karma because of ignorance, attachment, aversion, pride, and jealousy, because of the poisons inseparable with your body and your speech and your mind presentation. You're perpetuating a story that you become the subject of. And Rinpoche used to say, he said, it's like reading a book. At a certain point, you're writing the book. Paragraph by paragraph, page by page, you're writing this book. And you're using ignorance, attachment, pride, jealousy, anger. You're using it with your body and your speech and your mind and your story and your spin. And you're writing a story. You're writing a book. Well, there comes a moment you become the reader of the book. Now you're helpless to what's written on that page. You can enjoy the glory of impermanent success, but it fails. It fades. It crumbles. And worse, the story is bad and we behave badly. You know, we get upset. Oh my, how terrible, this story is awful. We become angry with our own mind again. We become greedy with our own mind again. What about me? What about me? And there, even we're reading the book, we're writing the next book. This is called karma. Every thought, every word, every action, positive, negative, or neutral, embraced by your body, your physicality, by your speech, your verbality, by your actions, your mind. And what happens? It just looks so real. We just can't deal with it. It's so real. It's so true. It's so authentic. It's so happening that I am, and I'm happy that I am, and I'm unhappy. It's so real. It's so true. And you are making me unhappy. Get out. We have what's called habit. And because it's been like this before, we do it again. And because we've done it thousands and thousands and millions of billions of times before, why wouldn't we do it again? Habit. You're going to face the habits of your own mind. You're going to face the karmic display of your previous actions of thought, word, and deed. And all of this is going to make it seem true that there's really me and there's really you. And it all just seems so true. And so there we are, sympathizers. And we have to turn into practitioners. We have to realize your mind is what you've got to do. Your mind, your hopes and fears, your reactions, your expectations, your aversions, your judgments, your precious sense of self, the captor, the captive. And then you begin to think, oh my goodness, how in the world can I ever do this? I mean, well, at least you could have that question. I rejoice that you could have that question. What can I possibly do? You can listen to the teachings. You can begin to turn from a sympathizer into a practitioner. One thought at a time. You begin to change your own mind. It's not impossible. It's not that it's a small job. It's a big job. But what else are you going to do? If you don't do this job, what else are you going to do? Pretend it's all going to go well? Whatever is resultant of these obscurations of mind, whether it's a good result or a bad result, it's impermanent. And you're still just caught writing the book and reading the book, writing the book and living the story, writing the book, living the story, reacting to the story, writing the book, living the book on and on and on and on. And it doesn't get better. It wouldn't be so bad if it would just sort of get better. It doesn't get better. That's why the Buddha is basically saying to us, look, this isn't going to work. You have to practice. You have to take care of your mind because your mind is doing things in a way that will only cause you suffering. And not only you are going to suffer this way, anyone who has this mistaken sense of I, they are going to suffer. And even if the suffering is impermanent, another suffering arises. And another. Until you purify the poisons of your mind, until you resolve karma, until you eliminate habit, and you finally resolve that division that's you and other, then you're free. Your light is uncovered. Every step, a little bit goes away of this covering, but it's so thick that, wow, it takes a long time before you ever really start to even see a glow of your true nature. But in one way or the other, it has to be done. There isn't an option. But I need to do this and I need to do that. Hear it again. I need to go here. I need to go there. I have things to do. I have to climb Mount Everest. I have things to do. And what will people think of me? They're going to think you're some kind of what? Weirdo from Mars? But this is called attachment. It's a poison in the mind. This is called ignorance. It's a poison in the mind. Lama, will you please stop talking like this? You don't understand my life. You don't understand what I have to deal with. You don't know. Then we're angry. We're angry. Even at the Buddha, we're angry because we are attached. We have been captive so long that we are like the prisoner who doesn't want to be set free, who thinks it's okay to live in prison. But even that, they die. You don't get to stay. It's not okay. So this is where we come to the Buddha's compassion. The compassion is about understanding the problem. The compassion is about knowing there is a way to change this. But it's not the way you might think. You have to learn. You have to think about it. You have to become noble in your own bearing. That you're not just driven by your own attachments for gain or loss, pain, pleasure, all those things where you just need what you need because you need. That all beings who are trapped in the I-bound illusion of their isolated mind, that they could all wake up into the freedom of their non-divided absolute Buddha nature. You got to move, people. from sympathizer to practitioner. And we don't have long to do that. So Rinpoche would teach in this way. This is why I know how to teach in this way, because I listened to Rinpoche teach this way for years and years and years and years and years. And contemplating and reflecting and asking questions has been my path to clarify understanding, but it has to move to a path that will produce freedom for you and for the others connected to you. But many people are not going to do this. This isn't a group sport. This is not you do this because you think you're going to have, friends, or you think that you're going to have, family, or you're going to find a wife or a husband, or you're going to get a job or something like that. This isn't about any of those things. And many people are going to just be on the track of following those worldly things until they die. And then the karma will change, and they will have whatever kind of future life they're able to produce by their life. So Rinpoche said, the best thing you can do with this life is to use it to attain enlightenment. That's the best thing you can do. But if you're not going to do that, you're really not going to, Rinpoche still had advice for you. He said, even if you're not going to pursue the path, you should understand that this life is a pleasure. He literally called it a picnic. He didn't say picnic very well. When Rinpoche said picnic, it sounded a lot like pregnant. And I would tease him and I would tell him, no, Rinpoche, pregnant is not a picnic. And we would have a little game there every time. And he would still say, life is your picnic. This is the life you have waited for. This is the life you have wished to have. No matter how many little difficulties you face in this life, like tooth decay and sickness and aging and death and not getting what you want and not being able to prevent what you don't want, this is not always little, these things. Still, this is your picnic. And he used an example. He said, it's like as if you have worked hard for lifetimes after lifetimes after lifetimes, and suddenly your boss walks through and notices you and says, wow, you've worked so hard, you've been so loyal, you've done such a good job for so long. Take the day off. Go home. Take the day off. And the feeling that you have to be able to shamelessly enjoy your day, that's this life. You have worked so many lifetimes to get to this life. This one. Not another one. Not better somewhere else later. This one. This is the picnic. And it doesn't last long. We don't live long lives. Even if you live to be 100, it's not very long. And you men, worse than women, you don't live long. So enjoy your life. Enjoy it. Enjoy that you woke up again for one more day. Oh, bah, I didn't die in the night. Great. I've got one more day. I don't know if I'll have two. Because we don't know when death will come. Death never comes wrongly. When it comes, it's time. It's over. So enjoy today. Be kind. Don't use today to be vicious, to be argumentative, to be critical, to be awful to whoever's around you. Don't be a crab bucket. Instead, shine a little bit of that fortune that you have on others. And when death does come, don't be one of those people that regrets all the things you should have done. Live your life so that you don't regret when you die. You shouldn't do in this life what you're going to regret on your deathbed. Don't do it. That doesn't mean become a stone and just ignore that you did things that were harmful and aggressive and violent and you don't regret it. It doesn't mean that at all. It means you will regret what you do on your deathbed, so don't do it. This is what Rinpoche was saying. And be kind. There's no time for fighting and arguing. Be patient. It's okay. It's okay. It's a little difficult. It's okay. You can do that. You can do that. It's okay. He said it's like when you go home from your day off and you call your friend and you say, I got the afternoon off. Come on over. You know, I got a half a bottle of wine. Let's go sit on the roof. And as soon as you get to the roof with your half a bottle of cheap wine, you start fighting over who sits on which side of the blanket. And the day doesn't last. So enjoy your life. Be kind. Be loving. Be compassionate. These are Rinpoche's advice. Throughout my many lives and until this moment, whatever virtue I have accomplished, including the merit generated by this practice, and all that I will ever attain, this I offer for the welfare of sentient being. May sickness, war, famine, and suffering be decreased for every being, while their wisdom and compassion increase in this and every future life. May I clearly perceive all experiences to be as insubstantial as the dream fabric of the night, and instantly awaken to perceive the pure wisdom display in the arising of every phenomena. May I quickly attain enlightenment in order to work ceaselessly for the liberation of all sentient beings. Buddhas and Bodhisattvas altogether, whatever kind of motivation you have, whatever kind of beneficial action, whatever kind of wishing prayers, whatever kind of omniscience, whatever kind of life accomplishment, whatever kind of benevolent power, and whatever kind of immense wisdom you have, then similarly I, who come in the same way to benefit being, pray to attain these qualities. At this very moment for the peoples and the nations of the earth, may not even the names disease, famine, war, and suffering be heard. Rather may their moral conduct, merit, wealth, and prosperity increase, and may supreme good fortune and well-being always arise for them.